The 1940s were a challenging decade for the automotive industry. World War II halted civilian car production from 1942 to 1945, forcing manufacturers to focus on military vehicles. When production resumed, many coupes were simply rehashed pre-war designs, and innovation took a backseat to practicality. While some models managed to shine, others were plagued by outdated styling, poor performance, or mechanical issues. Here are 10 coupes from the 1940s that missed the mark.
Dear viewer, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your support.
Number 10, 1940 Plymouth Business Coupe and the Rambler American Coupe. Both models aimed to capture a segment of the market, but ended up disappointing consumers for several key reasons. Let's begin with the 1940 Plymouth Business Coupe. This vehicle was marketed as a practical coupe designed for business professionals, promoting the idea that it could serve as both a workhorse and a stylish ride. However, the reality was quite different. First and foremost, the Plymouth Business Coupe was characterized by its boxy design. In an era when automotive styling was evolving rapidly, with manufacturers introducing sleek and dynamic shapes, the Plymouth's angular form felt outdated and uninspiring. Buyers at the time were looking for vehicles that reflected the spirit of the times, something modern and appealing. Unfortunately, this model lacked the flair that was necessary to stand out in a competitive market. Moreover, comfort was another significant issue. The interior of the Plymouth was basic, offering little in the way of refinement or luxury. Business professionals often spent considerable time in their vehicles, and the lack of comfort features made the Plymouth a less desirable option. While it was intended to be practical, it failed to deliver a satisfying driving experience, which is crucial for anyone who relies on their vehicle for work. Finally, we must address the engine performance. The 1940 Plymouth Business Coupe was equipped with an underpowered engine that didn't provide the level of performance expected by many drivers. This lack of power contributed to a dull driving experience, leaving owners feeling uninspired behind the wheel. In a market that increasingly valued not only practicality, but also performance, the Plymouth simply could not compete. Now let's shift our focus to the Rambler American Coupe, which debuted in the early 1960s. This model aimed to provide an affordable and practical option for budget-conscious consumers, yet it, too, faced significant challenges. The Rambler American Coupe was widely criticized for being underpowered. Its engine options were limited, and many drivers found it lacking in the acceleration and responsiveness that they desired. In a time when consumers were starting to favor cars that offered a bit of excitement along with their practicality, the Rambler fell short. In addition to its performance issues, the styling of the Rambler American Coupe was another area where it struggled. Even upon its launch, the design felt outdated and uninspired, lacking the contemporary flair that was becoming increasingly important in the automotive market. Cars during this period were expected to not only perform well, but also look good doing it, and the Rambler's uninspiring appearance made it less appealing to potential buyers. Furthermore, the interior of the Rambler American Coupe was notably basic and Spartan. While some consumers might appreciate a no-frills approach, the lack of refinement and comfort features made it unappealing compared to its competitors, which offered better craftsmanship and more luxurious interiors. In a time when drivers were looking for value, the lack of a comfortable and appealing interior worked against the Rambler. In summary, both the 1940 Plymouth Business Coupe and the Rambler American Coupe exemplify how vehicles can fail to resonate with consumers despite their intentions. Their lack of power, uninspired styling, and inadequate comfort features ultimately led to their downfall in the market. These models remind us of the importance of balancing functionality with style and performance, as consumers seek vehicles that meet practical needs while also providing comfort and aesthetic appeal. Number 9, 1941 Willys Americar Coupe. While later models from Willys would gain fame in hot rod culture, the original Americar Coupe is often viewed less favorably. Let's explore why this vehicle, intended to appeal to a broad market, ultimately fell short of consumer expectations. The 1941 Willys Americar Coupe was designed during a time when American manufacturers were striving to create affordable vehicles for the masses. Positioned as a budget-friendly coupe, It aimed to attract buyers looking for an economical option in a rapidly changing automotive landscape. However, the America Coupe faced several significant drawbacks that would hinder its success. First, let's talk about the build quality and overall design. The America Coupe was marketed as a practical vehicle, but its cheap construction and basic features made it feel more like an afterthought than a serious contender in the market. The materials used were often low quality, resulting in a car that didn't exude the durability or sophistication that many buyers desired. In a time when consumers were beginning to appreciate more refined and well-built vehicles, the Willys Americar Coupe came across as cheap and lacking character. Additionally, the small size of the Americar Coupe presented another drawback. While compact cars have their merits, the Willys felt cramped and limited in space. This small footprint was not appealing to buyers who were looking for comfort, especially those who might have wanted to use the vehicle for family outings or long drives. The interior was tight, leaving little room for passengers or cargo, which further limited its practicality. One of the most significant criticisms of the 1941 Willys Americar Coupe was its limited power. The engine options available were underwhelming, providing insufficient performance for a driving experience that many consumers found disappointing. In an era when American car buyers were starting to embrace larger, more powerful engines, the America's modest performance left a lot to be desired. This lack of power was particularly notable when compared to its competitors, which offered more robust options that appealed to consumers seeking both practicality and performance. The America's inability to deliver a satisfying driving experience made it less attractive to potential buyers. Finally, we need to address the interior of the Willys Americar Coupe. While some budget vehicles managed to provide a degree of comfort and style, the America's interior was stark and unrefined. With basic seating and minimal features, it failed to create a welcoming or enjoyable environment for drivers and passengers alike. The lack of attention to detail in the interior design contributed to an overall impression of the vehicle as cheap and uninspiring. Consumers increasingly sought out vehicles that provided both functionality and comfort, and the America simply did not meet those expectations. In conclusion, the 1941 Willys Americar Coupe serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of quality, performance, and design in automotive manufacturing. While it aimed to be an affordable and practical option for consumers, its cheap construction, small size, limited power, and unrefined interior left buyers unimpressed. Later Willys models would find a place in hot rod culture, but the America Coupe remains a reminder that even the best intentions can fall flat if a vehicle fails to deliver on key aspects that consumers value. Number 8, 1942 Chevrolet Special Deluxe Coupe. While this model was introduced with the intent of providing a stylish and practical option for American consumers, it ultimately fell short due to a number of critical flaws. Let's take a closer look at why the 1942 Special Deluxe Coupe is often regarded unfavorably. The Chevrolet Special Deluxe Coupe was launched just before the onset of World War II, a time when the automotive industry was gearing up for what would soon become a significant disruption in production. Although it aimed to appeal to families and individuals looking for a reliable coupe, the realities of its design and performance left much to be desired. First and foremost, one of the major criticisms of the 1942 Chevrolet Special Deluxe Coupe is its rushed design. As the war loomed, automobile manufacturers faced pressures to innovate quickly and prepare for the impending shift in production focus. This rush led to a lack of attention to detail, resulting in a design that felt incomplete and poorly thought out. The aesthetic appeal of the Special Deluxe Coupe was undermined by this hurried approach. While many coupes of the era featured sleek lines and stylish details, the Special Deluxe Coupe's design fell flat, lacking the refinement that consumers were beginning to expect. Moreover, the build quality of the 1942 Special Deluxe Coupe was mediocre at best. In an effort to meet production deadlines, corners were cut in manufacturing processes, leading to issues such as poor fit and finish. This lack of quality control not only affected the car's visual appeal, but also its long-term reliability and durability. Buyers who invested in a new vehicle were often disappointed to find that it didn't hold up as well as competing models, leading to dissatisfaction and negative perceptions. Another significant drawback of the 1942 Chevrolet Special Deluxe Coupe was its performance. The vehicle's heavy body combined with a weak engine resulted in sluggish acceleration and lackluster handling. While many consumers sought a driving experience that was both comfortable and engaging, the Special Deluxe Coupe delivered neither. The heavy weight of the car made it feel cumbersome on the road, contributing to a lack of responsiveness that frustrated drivers. This underwhelming performance put the Special Deluxe Coupe at a disadvantage in a market that increasingly valued not just style, but also the pleasure of driving. As competitors began to offer vehicles that provided a better balance of power and agility, the Chevrolet struggled to keep pace, making it less appealing to potential buyers. In conclusion, the 1942 Chevrolet Special Deluxe Coupe serves as an example of how external pressures can impact automotive design and production. Rushed design, mediocre build quality, and underwhelming performance ultimately led to a car that failed to resonate with consumers. While the intent was to create a stylish and practical coupe for the American market, the reality fell short of expectations. This model reminds us that attention to detail, quality construction, and a commitment to performance are crucial in crafting a vehicle that will satisfy buyers in a competitive landscape. Number 7, 1946 Ford Super Deluxe Coupe. Launched in the aftermath of World War II, this model faced numerous challenges that ultimately hindered its appeal in a rapidly evolving market. Let's explore the reasons why the 1946 Ford Super Deluxe Coupe is often viewed unfavorably. The Ford Super Deluxe Coupe was introduced in a time of great change for the automotive industry. After several years of war, manufacturers were eager to resume civilian production and meet pent-up consumer demand. However, the transition from wartime to peacetime production was fraught with difficulties that affected the quality and desirability of many vehicles, including the Super Deluxe Coupe. One of the most significant issues impacting the 1946 Ford Super Deluxe Coupe was the lingering effects of the war on production capabilities. During the war, automotive manufacturers had shifted their focus to support the war effort, producing military vehicles and equipment instead of consumer cars. As a result, when civilian production resumed, companies like Ford faced numerous challenges, including shortages of materials and labor. These post-war production challenges contributed to notable quality control issues. With the rush to produce vehicles to meet consumer demand, corners were often cut in manufacturing processes. As a result, many Super Deluxe Coupes left the factory with inconsistent quality, leading to problems such as misaligned body panels and unreliable components. Consumers investing in a new vehicle were often disappointed to find that it did not live up to the standards they expected from a major automaker. Another critical issue with the 1946 Ford Super Deluxe Coupe was its design. The vehicle was essentially a warmed-over version of pre-war models, which meant that it retained many features and styling cues that felt outdated by 1946. As other manufacturers introduced fresh designs that reflected the evolving tastes of post-war consumers, the Super Deluxe Coupe's design failed to capture the spirit of the time. In an era marked by optimism and change, buyers were eager for new styles and modern features in their vehicles. The Super Deluxe Coupe's outdated appearance made it less appealing compared to competitors that were showcasing more contemporary designs. The lack of innovation in both styling and engineering left many potential buyers unimpressed, leading them to seek alternatives that felt more in tune with the changing times. In addition to its design flaws, the Super Deluxe Coupe also lagged behind in terms of technology. While other automakers were beginning to introduce advancements in performance, safety, and comfort, Ford's offering felt stuck in the past. For example, the Super Deluxe Coupe lacked the modern conveniences and improvements that consumers were starting to expect in their vehicles, such as better suspension systems, more powerful engines, and enhanced interior features. This technological stagnation further contributed to the perception that the Super Deluxe Coupe was out of touch with what buyers wanted in the post-war market. As the automotive landscape evolved, Ford's inability to adapt quickly enough left it vulnerable to competitors that were more attuned to consumer desires. In conclusion, the 1946 Ford Super Deluxe Coupe exemplifies the challenges faced by automakers during the transition from wartime to peacetime production. Post-war production hurdles resulted in quality control issues, while its outdated design and technology left it feeling uninspired and unappealing to consumers. As the automotive industry was beginning to embrace new ideas and innovations, the Super Deluxe Coupe failed to make a meaningful impact in a competitive market. This model serves as a reminder of the importance of quality, innovation, and responsiveness to consumer preferences in maintaining a brand's relevance. Number 6, 1948 Nash 600 Coupe. While Nash tried to position this model as an innovative and economical choice for consumers, it ultimately faced significant criticism due to its design and performance. The Nash 600 Coupe was introduced at a time when American automakers were eager to showcase innovation and new designs in response to the changing tastes of consumers after World War II. Nash, a smaller manufacturer compared to industry giants, sought to differentiate itself with unique features and a focus on economy. However, despite these intentions, the Nash 600 Coupe encountered several critical issues that hampered its success. One of the most prominent criticisms of the 1948 Nash 600 Coupe is its quirky and unattractive design. While Nash aimed to create a distinctive look, the result was a vehicle that many found visually unappealing. The design featured an unusual combination of shapes and proportions that did not resonate well with consumers. In a market where styling was becoming increasingly important, the Nash 600's unconventional appearance left it at a disadvantage. Buyers were often drawn to cars that not only performed well, but also looked appealing on the road. Unfortunately, the Nash 600 Coupe's odd design choices alienated many potential customers who preferred the more classic or stylish lines offered by its competitors. Additionally, the interior of the Nash 600 Coupe did not help its cause. While it offered basic amenities, the interior layout and materials felt cheap and lacking in refinement. Many drivers and passengers found the cabin uninviting, which detracted from the overall driving experience. In an era when consumers were beginning to appreciate comfort and quality in their vehicles, the Nash 600 fell short of those expectations. Another significant drawback of the Nash 600 Coupe was its small engine. While Nash marketed the vehicle as economical, the small engine resulted in lackluster performance. Drivers expecting a more engaging driving experience were often disappointed by the sluggish acceleration and overall power delivery. In a time when American consumers were increasingly drawn to vehicles that offered a combination of style and performance, the Nash 600's modest power output made it less appealing. Many buyers were willing to pay a little more for a car that provided a more exciting driving experience, and the Nash 600 simply did not deliver. Despite its attempts at innovation and economy, the 1948 Nash 600 Coupe struggled to find a broad market appeal. While some consumers appreciated its fuel efficiency, the overall package, marked by its quirky design and underwhelming performance, failed to capture the interest of the majority. In a competitive automotive landscape where options abounded, buyers sought vehicles that not only met their practical needs but also provided an enjoyable and stylish driving experience. The Nash 600 Coupe's inability to balance these elements left it marginalized in the market. In conclusion, the 1948 Nash 600 Coupe serves as a cautionary tale of how good intentions can be undermined by design and performance shortcomings. While Nash sought to innovate and provide an economical option for consumers, the quirky and unattractive design, coupled with its small engine and lack of broader appeal, ultimately hindered its success. This model reminds us that in the automotive industry, balancing innovation with aesthetic appeal and performance is crucial to winning over consumers. Number 5, 1942 Dodge Custom Coupe. Positioned as a mid-tier model during a pivotal time in automotive history, this coupe struggled to make a lasting impression due to its lack of performance and luxury. The Dodge Custom Coupe was introduced just before the onset of World War II, a time when American manufacturers were striving to offer a range of vehicles that appealed to a diverse audience. The Custom Coupe was positioned as a mid-tier option, targeting buyers looking for a balance of practicality and style. However, despite its intentions, the Custom Coupe ultimately fell short in several critical areas. One of the most significant criticisms of the 1942 Dodge Custom Coupe is its performance. Positioned as a mid-tier model, buyers expected a certain level of power and responsiveness from the vehicle, but the custom coupe delivered little in that regard. The engine options available were not particularly powerful, resulting in a driving experience that many found underwhelming. In an era when American consumers were increasingly drawn to vehicles that offered excitement and performance, the Dodge Custom Coupe simply did not meet those expectations. Its lack of acceleration and overall performance made it feel sluggish on the road, which was disappointing for buyers seeking a more engaging driving experience. Another major drawback of the 1942 Dodge Custom Coupe was its design. The coupe's heavy and plain appearance contributed to its forgettable status in a crowded automotive market. While some manufacturers were introducing stylish and innovative designs that captured the attention of consumers, the custom coupe seemed to lack flair and character. The exterior design was functional but uninspiring, which made it easy for the custom coupe to blend into the background among its competitors. In a time when cars were becoming symbols of personal style and status, the custom coupe's lack of distinctive design elements left it wanting. Moreover, the interior of the Dodge Custom Coupe did not enhance its appeal. The cabin was basic, lacking the luxury and comfort features that were becoming increasingly important to consumers. With limited attention to detail and fewer amenities than competitors, the interior experience felt Spartan and uninviting. Buyers who were looking for a vehicle that offered both functionality and a touch of luxury were left disappointed by what the custom coupe had to offer. As the automotive market evolved, consumers had more options than ever before. The 1942 Dodge Custom Coupe was positioned among a host of competitors, many of which offered superior performance, design, and features. In such a crowded field, the Custom Coupe struggled to stand out. Its lack of performance, heavy design, and plain interior made it easy to overlook in favor of more exciting alternatives. Consumers were increasingly seeking vehicles that reflected their personalities and lifestyles, and the Custom Coupe, with its forgettable presence, failed to resonate in a meaningful way. This inability to capture the imagination of potential buyers left the Dodge Custom Coupe on the sidelines of automotive history. In conclusion, the 1942 Dodge Custom Coupe serves as an example of how a vehicle can fall short of consumer expectations in a competitive market. With its lack of performance, heavy and plain design, and an uninspiring interior, the Custom Coupe became forgettable in a crowded field. While it aimed to be a mid-tier option for buyers, the reality was that it struggled to compete with other models that offered a better balance of style and performance. The Dodge Custom Coupe reminds us that in the automotive industry, standing out requires not only a solid product, but also a design and experience that resonates with consumers. Number 4, 1946 Kaiser Special Coupe. While it held the promise of a fresh start for the automotive industry, this model ultimately failed to live up to expectations due to a combination of reliability issues, uninspired styling, and underwhelming performance. The Kaiser Special Coupe was introduced as part of a new wave of post-war vehicles aimed at revitalizing the American automotive market. Kaiser Fraser Corporation sought to make a name for itself with this coupe, positioning it as a modern and stylish option for consumers eager for new cars after years of wartime scarcity. However, despite its potential, the Kaiser Special Coupe faced significant challenges that hindered its success. One of the most glaring shortcomings of the 1946 Kaiser Special Coupe was its reliability. As one of the first new post-war designs, there were high expectations for this vehicle. Unfortunately, many early production models suffered from various quality control issues, leading to a host of mechanical problems that plagued owners. Consumers who invested in the Kaiser Special Coupe quickly found themselves facing challenges related to engine performance, electrical systems, and overall durability. These reliability issues not only frustrated owners, but also contributed to negative perceptions of the brand as a whole. In a time when consumers were eager for dependable transportation, the Kaiser Special Coupe failed to deliver. In addition to its mechanical problems, the design of the 1946 Kaiser Special Coupe also left much to be desired. While it was an attempt to create a modern look for the post-war era, the styling felt uninspired and lacked the flair that many consumers were beginning to expect. The exterior design was somewhat boxy and did not stand out among its competitors. In a market filled with vehicles that were showcasing more dynamic lines and innovative features, the Kaiser Special Coupe appeared rather bland and forgettable. Buyers looking for a car that made a statement were often disappointed by the Special Coupe's lack of distinctive design elements. Another significant drawback of the 1946 Kaiser Special Coupe was its engine performance. The coupe was equipped with an underpowered engine that struggled to move the heavy vehicle effectively. Despite being marketed as a modern coupe, the driving experience was hindered by sluggish acceleration and a lack of responsiveness. For many consumers, the driving experience is a key factor when choosing a vehicle, and the Kaiser Special Coupe simply did not meet those expectations. In a time when American automakers were beginning to embrace performance and excitement, the Kaiser's underwhelming engine left it at a disadvantage, making it less appealing to potential buyers. In conclusion, the 1946 Kaiser Special Coupe serves as a poignant example of the challenges faced by automakers in the post-war era. Despite being one of the first new designs to hit the market, it struggled due to reliability issues, uninspired styling, and underpowered performance. While the Kaiser Special Coupe had the potential to carve out a niche in the automotive landscape, its shortcomings ultimately overshadowed its promise. This model reminds us that in the competitive automotive industry, delivering quality, style, and performance is essential for capturing the hearts of consumers. Number 3, 1946 Chevrolet Fleetline Aero Sedan, a vehicle that, despite its sleek and appealing fastback design, ultimately failed to meet the expectations of consumers looking for innovation and practicality in the post-war automotive market. The Chevrolet Fleetline Aero Sedan was introduced at a time when American consumers were eager for new automobiles after years of wartime restrictions. As one of the first models to emerge after World War II, the Fleetline was intended to capture the imagination of buyers with its streamlined design. However, beneath this attractive exterior lay a number of shortcomings that would limit its appeal. One of the most significant issues with the 1946 Chevrolet Fleetline Aero Sedan is that it was essentially a repurposed pre-war design. While its fastback silhouette gave it an air of modernity, it failed to incorporate the innovations that were beginning to emerge in the automotive industry. This reliance on outdated design elements meant that the Fleetline did not benefit from the advancements that other manufacturers were starting to implement in their new models. In a rapidly evolving market, where consumers were looking for vehicles that reflected contemporary styles and technologies, the Fleetline's lack of meaningful innovation left it feeling stale and unexciting. Many buyers were disappointed to find that the vehicle they hoped would signify a new era was, in fact, an extension of designs from before the war. The performance of the 1946 Chevrolet Fleetline Aero Sedan was another area where it fell short. Powered by a 90-horsepower inline-six engine, the vehicle offered sluggish performance that was at odds with its sporty appearance. While the sleek lines suggested speed and agility, the reality was that the engine struggled to provide adequate power for a comfortable driving experience. Consumers expect their vehicles to deliver an engaging driving experience, especially when they are drawn to a car's design. Unfortunately, the Fleetline's underpowered engine often led to disappointment, as drivers found themselves longing for the responsiveness and performance that competitors were beginning to offer. In addition to its performance issues, the 1946 Fleetline Aero Sedan also suffered from practicality shortcomings. The rear seating area was cramped, making it less suitable for families or anyone needing to transport passengers comfortably. While the exterior design exuded a sense of spaciousness, the reality was that the interior layout did not deliver the same feeling. In a time when many consumers were prioritizing practicality in their vehicle choices, the cramped rear seating of the Fleetline became a significant drawback. Buyers who hoped to enjoy a comfortable ride for their families or friends were left dissatisfied, further diminishing the appeal of the vehicle. In conclusion, the 1946 Chevrolet Fleetline Aero Sedan exemplifies the challenges faced by automakers in the immediate post-war period. Despite its sleek and attractive fastback appearance, the Fleetline was a repurposed pre-war design that lacked meaningful innovation. Coupled with sluggish performance from its outdated engine and cramped rear seating, the Fleetline struggled to find its place in a competitive market eager for fresh ideas. This model serves as a reminder that while design is important in attracting consumers, it must be backed up by performance and practicality to create a compelling product. Number 2, 1948 Plymouth Special Deluxe Coupe. A car that gained a reputation for reliability but failed to stand out in other critical areas. While it was a dependable option for buyers, its heavy, uninspired design and sluggish performance ultimately limited its appeal. The Plymouth Special Deluxe Coupe was introduced as the flagship of Plymouth's post-war lineup, targeting buyers looking for a reliable and affordable car. At its core, the Special Deluxe was a vehicle designed for practicality and durability, attributes that were highly valued in the aftermath of World War II. However, in a rapidly changing automotive market, reliability alone wasn't enough to satisfy consumers. While competitors were introducing innovative designs and better performance to attract buyers, Plymouth leaned heavily on the conservative formula that had served them well before the war. This strategy led to a car that was functional but unexciting, falling behind the curve in terms of design and driving experience. One of the first things to note about the 1948 Plymouth Special Deluxe Coupe is its design. While Plymouth aimed to appeal to conservative buyers with its understated styling, the result was a car that many found dull and uninspiring. The body was heavy, with little in the way of distinguishing features. In an era where sleek and stylish designs were beginning to dominate, the Special Deluxe Coupe looked outdated and plain. The car's proportions emphasized bulk over elegance, and its design lacked the streamlined appeal seen in models from competitors like Ford and Chevrolet. As a result, the Special Deluxe Coupe struggled to capture the attention of buyers looking for a car that made a statement or stood out in a crowd. The interior, while functional, also failed to elevate the car's appeal. It featured basic materials and a layout that prioritized durability over comfort or sophistication. For many consumers, the lack of flair, both inside and out, made the car feel like a step back rather than a leap forward. Adding to the Special Deluxe Coupe's challenges was its underwhelming performance. The car was equipped with a 95-horsepower flathead, 6-cylinder engine. While this engine was reliable and easy to maintain, it struggled to move the car's considerable weight. Acceleration was lethargic, and the overall driving experience was uninspiring. Drivers found that the car's heavy body and modest powertrain made it ill-suited for anything beyond basic transportation. In a time when American consumers were beginning to appreciate performance and power in their vehicles, the Special Deluxe Coupe's sluggishness became a significant drawback. Even in day-to-day driving, the car's lack of agility and responsiveness was noticeable. Hills and highways posed a challenge, as the engine strained to keep up with the demands of modern traffic. This lack of performance limited the car's appeal, especially among buyers who were seeking a more dynamic driving experience. The 1948 Plymouth Special Deluxe Coupe's shortcomings were made more apparent by the competitive automotive market of the late 1940s. Manufacturers like Ford and Chevrolet were introducing vehicles that combined reliability with innovative designs and improved performance, leaving Plymouth's conservative approach feeling outdated. While Plymouth's reputation for dependability kept the Special Deluxe Coupe from being a complete failure, its inability to match the excitement and innovation of its competitors meant it was quickly overshadowed. Buyers increasingly gravitated toward cars that not only functioned well, but also offered style, comfort, and an engaging driving experience. In conclusion, the 1948 Plymouth Special Deluxe Coupe exemplifies the challenges of sticking too closely to a conservative formula in a time of rapid change. While the car was reliable and practical, its heavy, uninspired design and sluggish performance limited its appeal. The Special Deluxe Coupe serves as a reminder that reliability alone isn't enough to win over consumers. In a competitive market, innovation, style, and performance are essential to creating a product that resonates with buyers. Number 1, 1947 Hudson Super 6 Coupe. A vehicle that, despite Hudson's reputation for innovation, fell short in key areas. Though Hudson was respected for engineering prowess and forward-thinking designs, the Super 6 Coupe felt clunky, lacked distinctiveness, and struggled to compete in the booming post-war automotive market. Hudson had built a reputation as an innovative automaker, known for pioneering features like the step-down design that would debut in later years. Hudson's cars often stood out for their engineering and design advancements. However, the Super 6 Coupe released in 1947 fell short of these expectations. The post-war market was fiercely competitive. Automakers eager to meet pent-up demand rushed to release vehicles. While many relied on pre-war designs as stopgaps, buyers were already beginning to look for cars that represented a new chapter in automotive development. The Hudson Super 6 Coupe, unfortunately, did not deliver on that front. One of the primary shortcomings of the 1947 Hudson Super 6 Coupe was its styling. While Hudson had a history of crafting innovative and visually striking vehicles, the Super 6 Coupe looked clunky and dated. The overall design felt more like a continuation of pre-war trends than a forward-looking statement, which made it blend into the sea of similar cars flooding the market. The body was bulky, with proportions that lacked elegance or dynamism. While it was functional and solidly built, it failed to exude the sense of modernity and excitement that consumers desired. Other manufacturers, such as Chevrolet and Ford, were introducing sleeker, more contemporary designs that resonated with buyers, leaving Hudson's offering feeling out of step. The interior, while spacious, also lacked the refinement and style that were becoming increasingly important to consumers. Materials were utilitarian, and the dashboard layout was plain, offering little to distinguish it from its competitors. The 1947 Hudson Super 6 Coupe was equipped with a 102 horsepower flathead, 6-cylinder engine. While this engine was reliable and easy to maintain, it offered only mediocre performance. The car's weight further hampered its ability to deliver a satisfying driving experience. Acceleration was sluggish, and the vehicle struggled to provide the kind of responsiveness that drivers were beginning to expect in this era. On the road, the Super 6 Coupe felt unremarkable. It lacked the power to handle steep inclines or highway speeds with ease, and its handling was far from agile. This underwhelming performance undermined the car's appeal, especially as competitors were beginning to emphasize performance alongside reliability. In a crowded post-war market, standing out was essential for success. Unfortunately, the Hudson Super 6 Coupe failed to make a lasting impression. Its uninspired design and lackluster performance left it overshadowed by rivals that were either more stylish, more innovative, or both. For example, brands like Chevrolet and Ford offered vehicles that were not only more affordable, but also captured the public's imagination with their modern styling and superior driving dynamics. Even Hudson's own later models, such as the groundbreaking step-down design introduced in 1948, highlighted how far the company could go when it prioritized innovation. In conclusion, the 1947 Hudson Super 6 Coupe serves as a reminder of the challenges faced by automakers in a rapidly evolving market. While it benefited from Hudson's reputation for quality and reliability, its clunky design, mediocre performance, and failure to stand out left it struggling to compete. The Super 6 Coupe was a stopgap, a bridge between Hudson's pre-war offerings and the more innovative vehicles the company would introduce in the coming years. However, its shortcomings made it a forgettable entry in Hudson's otherwise storied history.